Hello. I hope you're all doing well today. Welcome to Glazing with Amaco. I'm Kara, and today I have not really a surprise, but something that we've all been anticipating. I'm going to share a little bit about our new glazes, the Potters Choice Flux series. So has anybody heard about these before? Just let me know, drop a comment. And you may have seen an ad. You may have been at NCECA or NAEA this year where we were presenting them. Good morning, Janet. I'm excited to share these with you. I'm glad that you're looking forward to them. So this is a porcelain vase with PCF 74 river birch on it. And this was fired to cone 5. And as you can see, it's like a creamy sort of color with brown specks that run a little bit. And that's the one I'm going to be talking about most today. So I have a jar of it here and ready to go. Yes, you saw the pictures from NCECA. Hi, Sue. So excited. Diane, today I am talking about our new Potter's Choice Flux glazes. So I have river birch here, and I'm going to get started on putting a coat on this vase. Now you can see it does have crystals in it. It has little speckles. They're bigger than the speckles that you would see in like deep fire brick. So the Potter's Choice Flux series, if you have not already heard about them, these are based on our very, very popular and very beautiful PC17 Honey Flux. So these are variations, and they are just all as beautiful as Honey Flux, but have their own special characteristics. So I'm just brushing a coat on. I did not shake this, so there's just a few crystals that are going on. But not to worry. So I'm just going to put this one coat on. I'm not going all the way to the top. I'm going to leave a little bit at the edge, but just trying to get one nice even coat on there. And I'm going to set that aside for a moment. And I'm going to talk to you guys about the Potter's Choice Flux glazes. Hi, Denise. Yes, they are food safe, just as the Honey Flux is. So one by one, this is PCF 3. This is called Midnight Run. And as you can see, it is a dark gray-blue glaze, and it gets a darker float where it gets thick. And it does move a little bit, but it is relatively, these did not run onto the foot. The river birch will run a little bit more than the other ones, so do be careful with that. Then next we have PCF 18. This is Honeydew. And it is a pale green that gets, where it goes thick, it gets kind of a creamy golden float, just as you may have noticed with Honey Flux. These do get a float when they get thick. So that's Honeydew. That's 18. This is 19, is Cirrus Flow, cirrus like the cloud formation. And it is a pale blue glaze that also gets a kind of golden, creamy color float where it gets thick. Next is PCF 54. This is Flux Blossom, and it is a pale, pale pink. And you may feel like, well, Honey Flux is kind of the similar color, but if you see like next to River Birch, Flux Blossom is a pale, pale pink color. Then we have PCF 75, River Birch. And then, I'm sorry, 74. And then this is 75. This is PCF 75 Moss Mist. So it's a creamy color with green, they're not specks or crystals, but they're just kind of like green spots that show up, like freckles. So those are the 6 new PCF glazes. I'm going to switch to our overhead so you can see them all at once. Let me move them down. If you see me wiping my hands, these have gone to Ensika, and they have a little bit of museum wax on the foot, so they're a little bit tacky on the bottom. So these are all on porcelain, fired to cone 5. And I also wanted to show you all what they look like on different colors of clay, because of course the PCFs are beautiful on different colors as well. So I wanted to show you. This is PCF 74 River Birch on black clay. This is Aardvark's granite or charcoal. David, is this
charcoal?
Charcoal. Okay. Yeah, they're really beautiful.
Granite, there's a obsidian.
Oh, okay. So I thought that there was a granite clay. I must be thinking of another company. I think there might be a granite in the EU. So this is a black cone 5 clay, and this is the River Birch on it.
Do you want me to chime in with some of these questions?
Sure. I think I have some of this blocked. Let me see.
I think Jody was kidding, but she asked, why didn't you shake the bottle?
Well, I didn't shake it so that I wouldn't have crystals at the top, but I will be shaking it for the next coat so that I get more crystals from the bottom. They do tend to slide down to the bottom, Jody.
And then everybody wants to know when they will be available from their local distributors.
So the PCF glazes are going to be available. They will be shipping out to distributors in early summer, and so I'm not sure exactly when you will see them in stores, but it should be pretty soon. As for our international, and especially, I know Australia seems like it always takes forever. I'm not sure exactly when those will be getting out to you. So I am shaking this. I want to make sure that all of the crystals from the bottom are nice and shaken up in there.
And I don't think we've tested on speckled clays.
Not yet. We have not tested this on speckled clays, but I know that some people have used honey flux on speckled clay. So if you have seen results for honey flux on speckled clay, you will get very similar results but with different colors. So I'm going to get a little bit more on here, and then I'm going to share with you some more items on colored clay and some layering combos, because I know that everybody wants to see how it layers, and that's what I'm going to be doing with this one, is layering it. So I'm putting a nice generous coat on there. No, summer is too far away. Summer is right around the corner, Heather. Will they be available in gallon? When they come out, they're only going to be available in pints. Eventually, I expect that they will be in gallons, but I don't have any idea when that will be. We do package very popular colors in gallons, but it does generally take us a couple of years to get to that point. So it will not be in gallons quite yet. What do they do at cone 6? Well, I'm going to show you in a little bit. They do look roughly the same at cone 6 as they do at cone 5. The colors stay the same. They do run a little bit more. And of course, we always fire our layering samples to cone 6. So that will give you an idea of what they will look like. So my first sample for layering combos today. This is river birch, 2 coats on the entire cup, and then 2 coats of Amaco over it. And I thought this was really interesting because the Amaco has both like a glossy brown ochre color happening, but it also has this interesting almost lavender float that happens in here. Let me see if I can show a zoomed in image so you can see a little bit better that purple kind of haze that happens. I thought that was really beautiful. My next sample, this is a base of PC26, which is Blue Lagoon, and it has Cirrus Flow, the light blue PCF over it. You can see it develop this really beautiful blue haze on here and breaks kind of a pale green. I thought that was really beautiful as well. When can we expect these to hit the shelves at Brickyard? Just like everybody else, it'll be early summer. This I thought was also very interesting. This is this is PCF 19, which is the Cirrus Flow, and then Sage PC 44 over the top. And Sage is a fairly opaque glaze, but it does break more over the Cirrus Flow, and just had a lovely reaction. This is the Flux Blossom with I'm sorry, that is not correct. That is it is Flux Blossom. It's written incorrectly, and it has over the top of this is PC40, which is True Celadon. Jody, why not Honey Flux in gallons? I don't know. We are still playing catch up with a lot of our production, but I am hoping that we get Honey Flux into gallons at some point soon. So this is PC74, which is the River Birch, and then it has PC26, the Blue Lagoon, over the top of it, and I just love how it breaks and flows, and it's just so pretty. And then this is what I'm going to be working on today. This is 2 coats of the River Birch with 2 coats of, I know it's going to surprise everybody, but this is 2 coats of Art Deco Green PC 48 over the top. And it goes this really pale, like lime green with some blue floats happening in it. Really, really fascinating. So that's what I'm going to do today as this gets dry. And I wanted to show you all, I showed this last week. This is the Honeydew, the PC 18, PCF 18. It's going to take me a while to get used to calling them PCFs instead of PC. But this is the PCF 18 Honeydew on the black clay. Just spectacular color. And this is the Midnight Run. You can see that it still shows its really beautiful color even on a dark clay, but then you get where it breaks across texture, it breaks to show the clay body. Just a spectacular, soft, gray blue color. The inside glaze on this pot, David glazed these. David, did you put clear on the inside, or is it PCF inside and out?
HF9.
HF9 on the inside. How many coats? I believe it was 3. That is, for samples like this, maybe a 2-gallon size, that would be lovely.
3 thick coats.
3 thick coats. There we go. River Birch will probably be great for peacock glazing. I think it really will. It's so pretty. And I don't have samples today, but I've also layered the PCFs over other PCFs, and again, really beautiful combinations. So I'm going to do the inside of this, I think with snow or maybe a satin matte. But then I'm going to come back along the edge and do PC48, and I'm going to do a thin coating of river birch along the bottom. Now, river birch is on the runny side, so be careful with this one. I would like to point out that what I do to keep glazes from running too much on my pieces, if you look closely, you can see that I created, the foot has a sharp turn. So, and then it has this edge right here. So it makes like a 90-degree turn. And this edge, that pointy edge right there, just above the edge of the foot, is a fairly sharp turn. And that helps to slow down the glaze so that it doesn't flow right off the pot, because the texture on this pot does increase flowing. So most of the time, this will not, the glazes won't flow off the foot of this shape of pot, this shape of foot, but they can sometimes. So that's a trick for making sure that you don't have glaze on the foot. It, like I said, if you have a super runny combination, it won't stop it, but it slows down runny glazes. So I wanted to get an extra coat on the bottom so that it didn't look too thin, but I'm going to switch over. Hi from Denmark, Ellen. It brushes on really nicely, Diane. It's very, and yes, Kelsey, I will post pictures of the layering combinations. So I have my Art Deco green. Art Deco green. I don't have very much of this left. It's gotten a little on the chunky side. This is an old jar.
And hi from Germany, Sabine. Oh, you already said that.
Hi from, oh, I didn't see Sabina. Hi from Germany. I love that name. So I'm just going to put the Art Deco green along the top, go down a little bit, overlap that third coat just a tiny bit. I don't want it to run too much. So for those of you who are tuning in, I did 2 coats of the river birch on the whole thing, and then I did a third coat just in this section. And I'm going to put Art Deco green along the top, come down just a little bit so that I get some flow, but I don't have to worry about it like running all the way off the pot. Oops, sorry about that. So I am really excited about these glazes. I'm hoping that you all will be really happy with them because they are so lovely. And all the things that I love about Honey Flux, these have all of those traits plus a little variation that just makes them just so pretty. So pretty. So I'm going to wait for that to dry, and then I'm going to paint another coat on. In the meantime, do we have more questions? There are lots of questions, and I think I didn't get to all of them. Let me see if we have. Let's see. Are there other PC glazes that they layer with better than others? I don't think that there's any that they really layer like unusually well with, but there's some that I'm really excited about. This is purple crystal on the whole vase, and then PCF 18, which is honeydew, over the top half, and so you can see how purple crystal just, it did some beautiful things with the honeydew. Isn't that just, it looks, to me it looks like the night sky.
A couple more questions on 5-6. why don't you glaze the inside first?
Sometimes I do glaze the inside first, but sometimes for the demos I don't get to glazing the inside the day before, and I don't want to have wet glaze on the inside when I'm glazing the outside. So I usually wait and then glaze the inside off camera because I'm just going to put a liner glaze in it. So that's why I don't usually glaze the inside on camera. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing one of these glazes on the inside, I would. So this one that I'm showing, this is PCF 54. This is the Flux Blossom. And then it's layered with PC 33 Iron Luster over the top. Just gorgeous, spectacular combination. Look at that dribble, look at that float. I just love it. And then the last one I have to show you guys today, this is Cirrus Flow PCF 19, and then it has Chun Plum PC 55 over the top half. So you get kind of a purpley pink and again that light blue float happening. Just lovely. So I will be doing more with the PCFs when we in the next couple of months. So join me again as I talk more about PCFs and other glazes. I'll be doing different layering combinations, and I'll be answering your questions about glazes in general. I do have a couple more questions that I'm going to answer before I leave. So Jason Wadsworth asks, do the PCF glazes have much pigment in them? They're relatively low in pigments, but they are all oxide. They all have oxides in them to create those colors. I don't know about amounts. That's not my end of the process. Let's see. What are the top liner glazes you recommend for inside pots? Lisa, I usually use HF9 or Snow or Mixing Clear inside pots just because we have a lot of it and it's easy to use. It depends on what I'm doing. So I might use a clear. I might use a white glaze. I also really love using the satin mattes as liners. But any food safe single glaze works great as a liner. It just depends. So most of the time with vases, I just use a simple white or clear glaze because it's not going to be seen. So instead of using my fancier glazes on the outside, I just use a clear. Patty asks, have you tested any over brown clay? And of course, we have the black clay. I have not tested them on our 77 yet, which is a terracotta red cone 5 clay. But I think that we'll be getting those tests out soon, and I expect that it looks a lot like this. So, tried and tried Junebug, Diane. Yeah, Diane, we have a resource page that I will link you up with for Junebug, and we can discuss it. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for joining me on my glaze journey, and I will see you all next week. Thank you.